In a world where heroes were born from fire and forged by courage, there lived a warrior named Beowulf. He was not just strong, he was stronger than anyone else in the land. His heart was full of bravery, and his mind was sharp like a sword. People spoke of him with awe, saying he could face any danger without fear. This is the story of how Beowulf became a legend, a name that would be remembered forever. Far across the sea, in a kingdom called Denmark, there was a king named Hrothgar. He was a good man who cared deeply for his people. Under his rule, the kingdom grew rich and happy. To celebrate their joy, King Hrothgar built a grand hall called Here. It was the most beautiful building anyone had ever seen. Its walls were tall and strong, its roof was covered in gold, and its halls were filled with food, drink, and music. The people came from far and wide to gather there. They sang songs, told stories, and laughed together late into the night. But happiness did not last long. From the dark swamps far away, a monster named Grendel began to watch the hall. Grendel was no ordinary creature. He was huge, ugly, and filled with hatred. He hated the sound of laughter, the warmth of friendship, and the light of happiness. Every night, when the people fell asleep, Grendel crept into Here. He killed the warriors, destroyed the tables and chairs, and left the hall soaked in blood. The people woke up to find their friends dead and their home in ruins. King Hrothgar was heartbroken. He tried everything to stop Grendel. He sent his best warriors to fight the monster, but none of them returned alive. For 12 long years, Grendel attacked Here again and again. The once happy hall became silent and empty. The people stopped coming, too afraid to even step inside. Fear spread across the land like a shadow that refused to lift. Far away, in a land called Geatland, modern-day Sweden, news of Grendel's attacks reached the ears of Beowulf. He was a young warrior, known for his strength and bravery. When he heard about the trouble in Denmark, he felt a fire burn in his chest. "This is my chance," Beowulf said to himself. "I will go to Denmark and help King Hrothgar. I will fight Grendel and save his people." Beowulf gathered his best men and prepared for the journey. They loaded their ship with weapons, shields, and supplies. Then they set sail across the stormy sea. The waves crashed against the boat, and the wind howled like a wild beast, but Beowulf and his men were not afraid. They sang songs to keep their spirits high and rowed with all their strength. When they finally arrived in Denmark, the people welcomed them with cheers. King Hrothgar was overjoyed to see them. "You have come at last," the king said. "We have suffered for so long under Grendel's attacks. Many brave men have tried to stop him, but none have survived." Beowulf stood tall and looked the king in the eye. "Do not worry, my lord," he said. "I am strong and I have faced many dangers before. I will fight Grendel without weapons or armor. Let us see who is stronger, him or me." The people of Denmark were amazed by Beowulf's confidence. Some whispered that he was too bold, while others believed he truly was the hero they had been waiting for. That night, Beowulf and his men stayed in Here. They ate a great feast and drank mead, a sweet drink made from honey. The warriors talked and laughed, but Beowulf stayed quiet. He sat in the corner of the hall, watching and waiting. His men lay down to sleep, pretending to rest, but Beowulf kept his eyes open. He knew Grendel would come. Late at night, when the moon hung low in the sky, the monster arrived. Grendel smashed through the heavy doors of Heorot as if they were made of paper. He grinned when he saw the sleeping warriors, his sharp teeth glinting in the dim light. He reached out to grab one of them, ready to kill. But Beowulf was waiting. As soon as Grendel touched the warrior, Beowulf leaped forward and grabbed the monster's arm with his bare hands. Grendel roared in surprise. He had never met anyone so strong. The two fought fiercely, shaking the entire hall. Tables and chairs were knocked over, and the walls trembled with the force of their struggle. Grendel tried to escape, but Beowulf held on tightly. He used all his strength to pull and twist the monster's arm until, with a loud snap, it tore off. Grendel screamed in pain and ran back to his swamp, leaving a trail of blood behind him. He died there, alone and defeated. The people of Denmark woke up to find the hall safe and Grendel's arm hanging from the wall as proof of Beowulf's victory. They cheered and shouted his name. Beowulf had saved them, but the story was far from over. Grendel's mother, another monster, lived deep in the swamp. When she learned that her son had been killed, her heart burned with anger. She vowed to take revenge on the people of Heorot. That night, she crept into the hall, killing one of King Hrothgar's closest friends and taking his body back to her underwater lair. When Beowulf heard about this, he knew he had to act. "I cannot leave this land until the monsters are gone," he said. "I will find Grendel's mother and end her evil once and for all." Beowulf followed the monster's trail to a dark, murky lake. The water was cold and still, and strange creatures swam beneath its surface. Beowulf dove into the lake, holding his breath as he sank deeper and deeper. At the bottom, he found Grendel's mother waiting for him in her underwater cave. The battle was fierce. Grendel's mother was strong, and she fought with claws and teeth. She almost defeated Beowulf, pinning him to the ground. But then, Beowulf saw a magical sword hanging on the wall. It was old and heavy, but he grabbed it and swung it with all his might. The sword cut through Grendel's mother, and she fell dead. Beowulf looked around the cave and saw Grendel's body lying nearby. To make sure the monsters could never harm anyone again, he cut off Grendel's head and carried it back to Heorot as proof of his victory. When Beowulf returned to Heorot, the people cheered louder than ever. King Hrothgar thanked him and gave him many gifts: gold, weapons, horses, and fine clothes. Beowulf was now a true hero, and his name would be remembered forever. Beowulf sailed back to Geatland, where he became a wise and fair king. He ruled his people well for many years, protecting them from danger and teaching them to live with honor. But one day, when Beowulf was old, a new threat appeared, a fierce dragon that was destroying the land. The dragon guarded a treasure hoard and had been angered when a thief stole a single cup from it. It began to burn villages and kill innocent people. Beowulf, though old and gray, decided to fight the dragon. He gathered a small group of warriors and went to the dragon's lair. The battle was hard. The dragon breathed fire, scorching the ground and burning Beowulf's men. One by one, the warriors fled, leaving Beowulf alone. Only one loyal man, named Wiglaf, stayed by his side. Together, Beowulf and Wiglaf fought the dragon. Beowulf struck the dragon with his sword, But it was not enough. The dragon bit him, and Beowulf fell to the ground, badly wounded. With his last bit of strength, Beowulf struck the dragon again, killing it. But the poison from the dragon's bite was spreading through his body. As Beowulf lay dying, he asked Wiglaf to bring him some of the treasure from the dragon's hoard. When Wiglaf returned, Beowulf looked at the gold and smiled. "I have done my duty," he said. "Now build a tall tower in my honor so that people will always remember me." Beowulf's people mourned his death deeply. They built the tower just as he had asked, placing treasures inside it to honor their great king. The tower stood tall and proud, a symbol of Beowulf's courage and sacrifice. And so, Beowulf became a legend. His story has been told for hundreds of years, inspiring people to be brave, kind, and loyal. He was not just a warrior, he was a hero whose name will never be forgotten.